Welcome to week number 6, and we're going to have the selected writings of Jose Rizal. Okay, so we have three on women empowerment, Filipino mentality, and the future of the Philippines during his time. So let's have a background. So again, the selected readings are number one, sa mga kababaihan ng Malolos, or a letter to the young women of Malolos, Bulacan. And then we have the indolence of the Filipinos, or yung La Indolencia de los Filipinos. And of course, the prophetic writing of Rizal, okay, about the Spanish colonial government and the future of its administration in his essay, Philippines a Century Hence, or Filipinas dentro de 100 años. Okay? So, this will be the framework of our discussion. We're going to have the background of the article, why it was written, what is or what are the surrounding context of the article. And number two, we are going to have the main points. Okay, ilang focus natin, and a little bit of discussion in relation to the present time. Okay, so again, that will be the framework of our discussion. Now let's go straight to the first article. Okay, sa mga kababaihan ng Malolos, or to the young women of Malolos. Okay, so who are these young women? These are Chinese Filipino. They are prominent. They are rich, and they came from Malolos, Bulacan. Okay, so most of them are actually relatives, magkakamag-anak. And then why? Okay, they requested permission to open a night school where they could be taught the Spanish language. Wow, that is something. That is something. What do you call this? It's like a taboo during the time, or it's even like unimaginable for you to ask that kind of thing, because during the time education is more inclined to the boys, and women are seen as okay, pambahay lang, no need to go for further or higher education. And then what they did, they signed a letter, okay, a petition of some sort, and they gave it to the Governor General Valeriano Weyler on December 12, 1888. And then, so what? Marcelo H. Del Pilar, because this news became a controversial issue during the time, all the way up to Spain and Europe, it became a hot topic among the patriots. So Marcelo H. Del Pilar, he wanted to encourage these women, and sino pa ba ang kanyang tatawagin para magsulat ng magandang pag-encourage kundi si Rizal, who is in London. And he asked Marcelo H. Del Pilar, asked Rizal to write a letter to encourage these women that they're on the right track. Now, what are the main points of this article? Ang sabi ni Rizal, ang una niyang tiningnan na ang pagiging banal, okay, saintliness or holiness or being pious, okay, what I call this being a churchgoer, okay, it's not the real thing of being an effective and being a powerful woman. Hindi ibig sabihin na ang babae nung time na yon ay palaging nasa simbahan, kissing the hand of the friars. Okay? It's not, it doesn't mean to say that automatically she is a good mother, she is a good woman. According to Rizal, it should not be blind obedience. Okay? A strong woman for Rizal, according to him, is using reason in order for her to discern, okay, to understand things around her. Okay, she's not having this blind obedience, sunod lang ng sunod, kiss lang ng kiss sa kamay ng pare. If you would notice, Rizal would, this is again an attack against the friars, but he is not saying that these women should not go to the church or leave the church. The point is, they should not just adhere to the system. They should not bow and bend their knees to the system. Yun ang word ni Rizal. Luhod lang ng luhod at parang hindi na nag-iisip. Because for him, reason, okay, reason are noble and free. So yun ang unang point ni Rizal. And then, in-encourage niya yung mga kababaihan na maging magaling at maging effective na mother. Why? Quote unquote, according to Rizal, mother is the first influence of man's consciousness. Kaya yung mga babae bilang mom ay talagang sila yung very influential. Okay? If I would ask you tonight, sino rito mas close sa nanay nila kaysa tatay nila? And Rizal is the best example of how it is to be close to your mom. Remember, Rizal's first teacher was his mom, and because of his mom, he took up medicine. He took up ophthalmology in Europe. And sabi niya, do not be the woman that friars rated. So during that time, ang nakita ni Rizal, this is the imagery of a woman created by the friars. Dapat oo lang ng oo, dapat bow ng bow, simba ng simba, confess ng confess sa mga friars to the point na minsan madalas naaabuso na sila. Pero ang sabi ni Rizal, do not be like the friar women, be like the Spartan woman. He used the example of Sparta, a military Greek state. Dahil ang sabi nga, ang claim ng mga Spartan women, only Spartan women give birth to real men. And if you would read the article, Rizal gave an example. Rizal is very knowledgeable in history. And Rizal gave an example of how a Spartan woman would see it as a cowardice on the part of her son to be actually alive at parang hindi nakipaglaban ng ayos. Mas gusto niya makita ang kanyang anak na patay pagdating galing sa battle because that is a sign that she gave birth to a real man. Okay? So, malakas, involved, may paninindigan, okay, and creator of good citizen. That's the point of Rizal. Hindi sa mga friars. Sabi niya nga, kung ang ating paiiralin na aral ay ang aral ng mga praile, anong klaseng anak ang ibubunga kundi mga alipin na sunod lang din ng sunod sa mga praile. Things like that. And then another main point of Rizal sa article niya is the power and good judgment of Filipinas are well known. Sabi niya hindi mangmang, okay? Filipino women during the time, they're not ignorant. Siguro nakita niya sa mom niya na matalino and very high potential, okay? However, because of the system, because of the patriarchy, because of the men rules mentality, this kind of potential, this kind of powerful judgment of Filipinas, they're being shackled in slavery. In what way? Because of religion. And then he came to compare the status of women in Europe and America during the time. Remember, he is a traveler. He observed the culture and he observed that women on this continent, they are more free, they are more engaged, and they have a lot of opportunities simply because of one thing. They are educated. And that is why they are strong-willed. Okay? So that's what Rizal wanted to happen to these young women of Malolos and particularly to the Filipina women. Now, according to him and to Rizal, mothers are very important in building a strong family. So again, Rizal is not advocating, okay, this is not advocating about women leaving the church or not being obedient to the Bible. In fact, if you would read the whole article, Rizal stated a lot of biblical examples in order for him to drive his point, and that is not just to follow blindly on the church dogma, on the scapular and prayers na wala namang binubunga kundi panlabas na kabanalan. According to Rizal, it's what matters is on the inside, and mom should have a very good personality, should have a very good moral foundation in order to build a strong family. According to Rizal, she must teach her children well and love her husband. So this letter is an encouragement, okay? The purpose of this is to encourage these women that they are on the right track, that they are doing good, that they are correct, right in terms of asking for education. Okay? Now that's the point of Rizal. Wag yung image na ginagawa ng fraile nung time na yon na mga babae dapat pambahay, submissive to the husband, simba ng simba, amin ng amin sa pare, but they are being shackled and they are being bounded in terms of their potential. Okay? And sa mga wala pa namang asawa, may tip din naman si Rizal. Sabi ni Rizal, maghanap kayo ng mga lalaki na honorable and and you should have a command, okay, in terms of respect. So sabi niya sa mga wala pang asawa, you should move with dignity. Okay, hindi yung parang binabasos lang ang mga Pilipina. Alam niyo kung bakit? According to the article, Rizal cited an example, a lot of friars and a lot of travelers, Spanish travelers from Philippines, when they go to Spain, kung ano nung sinasabi nila tungkol sa mga kababayang Pilipina, na easy to get, susceptible, submissive, sunod lang ng sunod, parang mga quote-unquote, parang mga tanga, okay? So, galit na galit si Rizal when he is trying to narrate that story. Sabi niya, hindi dapat ganun ang image ng mga Pilipina na nakakarating dito sa Europa. Simply because, again, the friars, their thoughts are well entrenched on the minds of these women, that they can manipulate these women because of religious fear, because of excommunication and being declared as heretic. So grabe yung effect ng pag-paint ng picture ng friars na ang sabi ni Rizal to these Malolos women, you're doing good, okay? Because that's the first step to be empowered. You have to be educated. So that is the point of the letter. It's simply an encouragement for these young women to continue fighting for education, and they're doing it right. And Rizal reminded them how a good mother should be. It's not just about going to the church, being saintly, but more so in terms of having a reason and a capacity to have good judgment in order to be a good mom, which will raise a good citizen. Now, for the discussion tonight, we'll be having this thing. Number one, nakita natin dito ang issue ng patriarchy during the time of Rizal. Ano ibig sabihin ng patriarchy? Patraya, patria, man. So dito, dominated ang lipunan ng mga kalalakihan. Bakit? Because of religion. Friars and men. And what the problem here is women are being seen as meek, weak, and should just submit blindly. So yun ang patriarchy. Nagkakaroon ng gender discrimination. And until now, it's happening. Okay? And we can see here the issue of the power of language. Remember class that friars, they are scared that hindi sila natatakot na matuto mag-Spanish yung mga Filipinos because Filipinos might be better than them. No. The real issue here is that if Filipinos, okay, a lot of Filipinos would learn Spanish during the time and they would learn to read. Okay, remember the age of Rizal, age of revolution, a lot of subversive books, a lot of ideas about freedom and about resistance to the government. If these Filipinos would learn how to read and write, most of the liberal books, most of the books that would cater to empowerment are written in Spanish. Therefore, it would it would give them idea. Okay, it would give them idea to rebel. It would give them idea that okay, why the hell are we in this situation? So that's the fear of the friars, okay, that these indios, these natives would learn liberal ideas. That's why no Spanish for them. And then Rizal believed that women should be empowered. That's very obvious in the article. If you would read the summary of the article, Rizal is advocating that hey, get yourself educated because in Europe women are in higher status because they are educated. So you're doing the right thing. And the last one, be open-minded and use reason for better judgment. Okay? So sa mga babae, hindi lang, di ba, they're known for being emotional. I'm not trying to discriminate, okay? But more so in terms of being emotional, it will be women. Ang sabi ni Rizal, wag yung emotion lang na sunod lang ng sunod. Simba ng simba. Kay father, kiss hands, confess to the point na minamanyak na sila. Okay? Sabi ni Rizal, be open-minded and be reasonable. So right now, it's also applicable in our country because a lot of discriminations are happening, not just between men and women, but with other gender as well. But the point is, be open-minded, okay, and use reason for better judgment. So that's the first article of Rizal to the young women of Malolos. Thank you.